Whew. All right, so it's 1 o'clock. I'm going to give it maybe a couple more minutes. It looks like everybody, 28 people on. That's cool. We had like 55 signed up. We are recording, which is good. So this will be shared with everybody. I'm Steve Spence, Managing Director, one of the 5 owners of Project Mapit, the only owner that works at Project Mapit. Everybody else is either a silent partner or they are full-time employees with other entities. So Perla is also on. Perla is going to be womaning the chat box. You like how I said that, Perla? Womaning? Are you on mute?
Love it. Love it.
We're big. Thank you, David. We're a big, happy family over here. And listen, we are growing. Hopefully I can say that we're growing exponentially very soon. But we are growing. We're sustainable. Things are really good. This has been a crazy year, record-breaking month so far for us and all that kind of stuff. So because of the growth and the scaling, we want to really start supporting and figure out ways to support you all better than what we have. And I feel like we have pretty good customer success or customer service. So we're going to continue that. This webinar shouldn't take more than 45 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. It just depends on the number of questions you have and stuff like that. But just to give you a couple updates. So if you haven't already in Perla, if you can find our Project Mapit users group, it's a private group that we have for everybody of our clients. Join that group. We post things on there and stuff like that all the time. So it's important. For example, I posted, I think, a video last night or the night before. But just a couple updates to give you some ideas of what we've been doing the last couple weeks or months since the last webinar. We will be having a feature webinar the first Thursday of every new month, as long as we're not traveling or something like that. So we want to really provide you and your teams a way to just constantly learn. And all the webinars will be recorded. They will be put in our knowledge base, which we are actually currently we're actually growing our knowledge base right now. I'm going to show you that in a second. So updates. If you haven't known, just Monday, we released an update to be able to scroll with your scroll bar. If you watched my Facebook video, sorry, Ashley. If you watched our Facebook video from last night, you will hear me say, I'm not a fan of the scrolly bar because that just goes too fast for me. I'm more of a fan of clicking on these clusters and zooming in. But it's amazing what a little thing like a scrolly bar will do for your clientele. We've gotten a lot of views and stuff like that. Perla just put in a chat box over on the right-hand side, the Facebook group. So click on that link, everybody, if you're not a part of the group, and be a part of the group. We'd really appreciate that. So the scrolly bars are there. If you missed the last webinar and you haven't been in Project Mapit in a while, we have the ability to put badges like Google and Facebook on those badges. So this tells you that there's a Google review. So we're evolving the UI, which stands for user interface, kind of the way it looks, and just to give you a precursor of what we're working on. We are still working on the reviews thing. We're going to build out a way where you can build out a landing page in the back end of Project Mapit. And we have a partnership with TapTag where you can buy those tap cards, order those tap cards right from TapTag, right from our website. I'm sorry, right from your Project Mapit account. You'll be able to request reviews. That's the goal. I'm not going to get into that. You can watch our last webinar if you want to learn more about that. I want to focus on sales. Just wanted you to know that's our big push that we're developing right now. It's going to take about 3 months. It's a lot of stuff that we have to do. But the other thing that me and the team, along with some of our partners who are in the software system space, we're going to change this up a little bit. So, and feel free to leave your comments. We now have badges, right? You can click a reviews button. We have badges that say there's a review on there. There's these translucent pins versus a solid pin. Translucent pin, for all you salespeople that are watching this, means that there's no information except for, well, I'm a lacrosse guy, so this happens to have a lacrosse picture. But if I pick the same daggone one. Oh, maybe that's my bulk image. That's my bulk image. So let me first of all go into map settings. At the very bottom of map settings, I'm going to remove the bulk image. That's where you can put like an advertisement, if you will. So anything that's translucent means there's no photo that you uploaded. So if you click on it, by default, it's a Google satellite image like you see here. And a lot of times a Google satellite image doesn't look as good as this does, let alone if you're a bathroom if you're a bathroom remodeler, why do you want to show the top of your roof? We mainly have a lot of roofing companies, but I'm sure there's people that aren't roofing companies. Yes, Joe, tap tag is what it's called. And tap cards do work great. So I can't wait to do that. That will be its own webinar. So if you don't like to have this image on there and you would rather have like a billboard advertisement, I don't think this is the company I'm using to showcase. Let's see if they have it. They do not. I know a company like Pestzar does, so I'll show you real quick. So again, this does have to do with sales because you want your map to look and work the way you want, right? You're a pest control company. Why would you want the picture of a Google satellite image? So for them, in that bulk image upload, we loaded a picture, and that picture is on every single pin that does not have an actual loaded photo of that job. So this is an example. We will build this out for you. So if you want us to, put it in the chat right now. Say, this is Steve Spence from Steve's Roofing Company or whatever, and say, can you please make it, like, just put your name, your company name, and please make us a billboard advertisement. We'll start working on it today. Okay, so if you want that, we can do that. That kind of makes your map look good. Let's talk about what we're talking about today. So when you're doing the chat on the right-hand side, I'm hoping that there are some people on this webinar today that are leveraging Project Map It during the sales process. That's what we're really going to focus on today. If you have some success stories like, yeah, man, like we literally probably close at a 3% higher rate because we use Project Map It in every presentation, let us know in the chat box. Give us those success stories. Write down what's working for you. Are you using something like an Engage presentation or a PowerPoint or a Prezi? Like, we're here together to learn from each other. So feel free to use the chat to do that. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do an ROI calculator. I'm going to show you what that looks like. I'm really hoping that there are some salespeople on this call. Shoot me a chat. I'm looking at it now. Like, if you're an actual salesperson, let us know. I'm just curious how many are owners and admin and how many are just straight up boss salespeople. But we're going to show you an ROI calculator. We're going to talk about some success stories that we get. How to use it on your tablet's going to be one. Thank you, Dayton. So please share this with all your other salespeople. How to use Project Map It on a tablet. I'm going to show you how to navigate a tablet, and then what you can do to put in the sales process, and then any follow-up questions. Okay. So some success stories, right? We want to build out a map for you. We want to work with you and collaborate with you. Hopefully you already have a map that has lots of good projects with photos on it, some good categories, and lots of pins, right? Even if you have 60 pins on your map, that's going to do better than if you had 0. So if you're a smaller startup company, still use that map during the in-home sales. I'm telling you, it's going to work. Here's some success stories. Of the first 2 slides indicate customers that never even put reviews or photos yet. They literally, we made their map and branded it for them. And if you want to read on your own, it's the highlighted areas that I'm going to read out loud in a second. But this guy, Justin, he sent me or Pearl, someone an email that said, hey man, check this out. We're already selling stuff and we don't even have reviews synced, or we didn't even put any project photos on there yet. Right. I've used it not far. I've used it so far, not to its full potential, but I've sold numerous jobs just using the map and showing potential clients, zooming in, look at all the jobs we've done in your area. Like this guy, Justin, if you're on, please feel free to share. But he sent us an email and was like, dude, we're already selling because of Project Map It. So it doesn't take a lot. And I feel like here's what I'm going to say. When someone in your company got on a demo with us and bought Project Map It, I'm hoping that one of the main reasons they bought Project Map It and subscribes to our service because they see it as a reputation tool that's going to help your sales team close more deals. I've been on roof inspections. I've seen it work. It's like proud papa sitting at the kitchen table with O'Leary Roofing and Stefan Vasquez, literally showing Project Map It and watching and hearing the customer say, holy crap, is that all the work you've done in our area? So I know it works. You just have to put it in your process. Here's another guy, Isaac, from Isaac's Roofing Company out of California. I sold him on a Thursday. I remember this clear as day. It was a few months ago. Sold him on a Thursday. Isaac's like, hey man, can you train me on Sunday? Do you do stuff on the weekend? I'm like, for you, I'll do it. Right? That's how we roll at Project Map It. We're going to train you whenever you want it, whatever works best for you. Showed him how to use it on a tablet. And sure as crap enough, I'd probably say sure as shit if I wasn't on a webinar. But right here, that's Project Map It with a Google satellite image right there. Funny enough, he didn't put any reviews on there yet. He didn't put any he didn't have any project photos, but he was able to dive in and just show the number of pins. And this is the homeowner literally writing a check. So he snapped that picture and said, done deal, $20,000 roof sold. So in less than like 2 business days, this guy sold a $20,000 roof because of Project Map It. Got this literally maybe 2 weeks ago. Just wanted to let you know, Project Map It tremendously helped my wife easily add value and pre-sell at when a prospect came into the office before the appointment. Before this guy, Kevin Overmeyer, went out there to the house to provide the inspection. The customer came into the office and she showed Project Map It. After meeting and doing my follow-up, we closed at a higher rate. Think about this, at a higher rate than the other estimates by a few thousand. If you can showcase your local reputation with reviews, photos of your work, you can dive right into like the shingle color or the pool coping, whatever industry you're in seconds. That wow factor, that reputation is going to help you close deals. That social proof is what it's called, is going to help you close deals, even when 2 other companies are bidding a few $1,000s higher. So just think about that. Sold a roof today because of your program. We had 6 installs within 2 minutes and literally said, why do we even, the customer, so this is the homeowner saying, why do we even need to get another quote? We know Sam and Sue did their research because he zoomed in a Project Map It where that person's house was, zoomed out a little bit, showed a couple pins around it, and they recognized, hey, Sue and Sam live here. They're our friends. They used O'Leary Roofing. Why do we want to use anyone else? This wife literally canceled the 4 o'clock estimate that was coming out later that day. And then again, sold one of my 3 roofs today because of PMI. So with all that said, and it involves analytics with Google, if you write job descriptions, we're not going to get into that because we're talking about sales. So if you're a salesperson, right, and please feel free, if there are any questions, throw them down there. Thank you, Eric, for being on here. So if you are a salesperson and you don't want to put something as simple as Project Map It into your life during that sales appointment, during and post sales process, we're going to talk about all 3 of those phases. I'm telling you, you will close probably 3 to 10% higher is what we're looking at, what your current close rate is. Okay. So it's very rare that people come to us, everybody, that says Project Map It's too much money, we don't want to renew. But usually when I show them the ROI calculator, and I have it more on the web. So if you're in this, I'm going to share this deck. You can click right in the middle. There's a little circle pulse. If you click on it, it's going to open up the ROI calculator within this Engage Sales deck. But I'm just going to do it right here because I already pre-did it. Perla is going to put a link to this ROI calculator. She already did. It's in the chat box. So if these price points, maybe you're a bathroom or you're a kitchen remodeler and your average price point is $70,000 for a kitchen, regardless, you can slide this. It's all a slider scale. So on average, let's just say that the installs that your company do is an average of $15,000 per install, right? And your salesperson is running, your salespeople are running about 20 leads a month. So they're going on 20 inspections or estimates, whatever you call it in your industry. The average national rate's 33. Yes, we talk to people that are like 40, 50, 60, 70%. That's awesome. Word of mouth, like great reputation. You've been in the area for 80 years, 50 years. All that helps. I get it. We also have companies that are closing at a 22% rate, and in their market, that's actually a pretty good average. Regardless, 20 leads, $15,000 average job, 33% close rate. If you come down here, that means that salesperson's bringing in $99,000 a month. So let's just call it $100,000 a month. Now, if Project Map It, so this is what this slider does. If Project Map It helps your salesperson go from 33 to 43%, so Project Map It helps increase 10%. Look at the average monthly. The average monthly is now $129,000, which is $30,000 extra a month, $360,000 extra a year. And that's for one salespeople. Some people only have one salesperson. Some of you companies we're talking to might have 5, you might have 10, you might have 15. So if you have 3 salespeople, multiply 360, by 3 salespeople, you're looking at close to $1 million. Or actually you're looking more than $1 million. So when people if anybody balks at the price point of $2,270 a year, that's the highest price point our company offers right now for a yearly subscription. And I show them one person brings in $360,000. Now, some of you might be shaking your head right now, like, Steve, you're full of crap. You're not going to make us close at a rate of 10% more. Okay, cool. There are other processes that need to go into place to get that close rate that high, but let's just, I'll even put it at 2%. Let's say we help you go from a 33% to a 35%. You're still making $72,000 more per salesperson, and we're charging $2,270. So I just want to, I'm a visual guy. I was a teacher for 20 years. I just wanted to put that visual in perspective for you so that I'm hoping you realize, okay, I just need to add it to my sales process. We're going to talk about that. If you have any questions, throw them up there. I'm going to get into how to do it on a tablet, how to get around on your tablet, but I will pause for a second if anybody has any questions. All right. So I think I'm sharing my screen here. Perla, am I sharing my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So this is my iPad, everybody, and this is Tar Heel Construction Group. So thank you to Joe Ayler, owner of Tar Heel, for always allowing me to use his map on demos and stuff like that. I'm going to get off of this real quick, and I'm just going to show you. We're not an app in the App Store, so the first thing you would want to do if you're using Project Map It as a standalone is you would go to your, in this case, I would go to Safari, or if you're using an Android tablet, you'd go to Google, but you'd go in there and you would Google our website. So Project Map It, right? And then see where it says sign in right here. So this is right on your iPad. You click sign in. So Project Map It, sign in. This is the page you're going to bookmark, right? And the way you bookmark, at least on an Android, on an iPad, is you come up here to this little square with the up arrow. You click on it. You say, hey, I want to save it to my home page. You click add to home screen. It's going to say, what do you want to name it? Project Map It. And you click add, and voila, you get an icon that looks like this. And then you can even name it whatever you want. So you bookmark the map to the home screen. Okay. That's if you wanted to log in. So let's say you were using your iPad to write job descriptions because you and your company want to take advantage of our SEO component, and they're putting that onus on the sales reps or the project managers, you would want to bookmark the sign-in screen. Okay, that would be this one right here. So when you click on it, you would go to the sign-in. It automatically recognizes you. I think this has Face ID. It does. And so now you're signed in. Because you're signed in on an iPad, you have actionable items over here on the dashboard, right? So let's say you want to go to projects and you just did you just installed a project for David Shaw. You could click on this button right here and it would take you to the review. You say, I want to request a review, and then you're done. Okay. So there's some things real quick that you can do to make it easy to send reviews. You can even take pictures with your iPad, add new projects just by clicking the add a project. So you would want to bookmark the sign-in page if you are going to use the functionalities such as adding photos, adding new pins in the work. Like if you're in the field, adding pins, photos, and requesting reviews, you'd want the sign-in. Now, let's just say you're a salesperson, everybody, and you don't want all of this functionality. All you want is the map. So check this out. This is the first Project Map It 101. This map has its own link. I can click this X button. It'll make this opens and closes the thing. That's first of all on your iPad or on a tablet. Okay. This button right here that says click copy the map URL. The map has its own unique URL. So I'm going to click on this. This is the link to the map. So the map has its own link. So if I'm here and I wanted to go, oh, let me just see the map. I don't need all the other functionalities. I copy and paste it, hit enter, and there's your map. So couple things about this very simple function down here on the bottom left, everybody. Number one, let's say you want to text message a link to your map to someone. Open it up on your phone, click this. Now you got the link to your phone. Send it via text to the homeowner, all you want, right? Let's say you wanted to email it. You're at your desk, your back office, you're running 3 appointments the next day. So you want to email them something. You can go in here and click this link, URL copied, send off that pre-appointment email. We're going to talk about that in a second. Okay. On an iPad, you can pinch and zoom. So I'm just putting my 2 fingers in and I'm zooming in and out just with my fingers. Okay. I think this is the one. Okay. So I'll just go to the map. That 109 means there's 109 jobs in there. So if you want to like be dramatic when you're with the homeowner, you can be like, you know that they live in this area. Yeah, cool. So you can just take your finger and push right on the 109 and boom, it's going to zoom in. And then again, if that you can just zoom in more and everybody, I can't say enough. Like if you're in this community, you're selling that job because you've got a bunch of Google, Facebook reviews with tons of good photos. Now, in the top right, there's a refresh map button, salespeople. This is a really good one because if I click on that, it puts the map back to its original state. So if you're talking to a homeowner and you can zoom in and then you want to go right back to what the map looks like, that's how you do it. You just click that little refresh map button on the top right.
Steve, we have
The
2
refresh,
questions before you move on.
yeah, I can't see it. What are they?
Yeah, you're good. So the first one is, so we have one sales rep and we plan to implement PMI to assist in helping customers make their selections remotely. How can you encourage customers to use it properly remotely? Sometimes they get overwhelmed by the pins. Our sales rep is only tech savvy person on staff. He plans to use it in person this season, but he doesn't see every job.
So that's going to be the new UI phase that we're happening. We're going to make this more prominent, like click here, or there's this button's going to be very in your face for a homeowner that says, okay, I got to click that to see something. Where we're headed, everybody, and I don't know when it's going to happen. It might be as early as 2 weeks. It might be as late as 5 months. I think it'll be closer to the month or 2 months. But when you click on Barkwood, what's going to happen is instead of this showing up, it's going to be thumbnails of the houses. So it'll be the first picture of every thumbnail that's that category. So a homeowner will automatically be able, and then we'll have like a click here to open up or something. So this will be a scrolling bar of thumbnails of that product color, if you will. Oops. Oh, I forgot I was on my iPad for a second. I thought I was on my computer. Another thing to think about. Let's say that homeowner, let's say your sales rep knows that he's going to be in the Falston area, right? This area right here. What you can do on the back end of Project Map It, everybody. So I'm going to go to the back end, right? Where you have this. See where it says My Saved Maps? You click on this button and you can make as many daggone maps as you want. Right now, because the red star is red here, that's the default map. Joe, owner, and don't worry, Joe, I'll delete all these. But if I wanted to save a new map, I could come up here and be like, oh man, I know I'm going on a sales appointment in Falston, Maryland. So I can zoom in with my fingers, I can pinch and zoom, all that kind of stuff. Or I can just click on that and it'll zoom into Falston. I like to click the menu button out. So I see the full map. And I'm gonna there's Falston right there. So I can zoom out a little bit more, whatever. And then at that point, I can click this button that says save as a new map. So I'm going to click save as a new map and call it Falston. Save that map. So I can save as many territories as I want. We have companies with like 55 different saved maps. This button right here, everybody, is a link. So if you know you're going to, let's just call it an older person or a person that doesn't know how to get around a computer very well, you could click on that link and email to them and say, just click on the link and maybe just give directions such as click on the link and choose the shingle color button that you see underneath our logo. Pick a color and the map will change. When done, click refresh. Maybe bullet it, make it nice and easy to understand. Hopefully, when we update the UI structure that I said, it'll be a little bit easier to navigate. Did that answer your question well enough? Oh, one more thing, ma'am or sir, whoever said it. If you know that the person is going to want a specific shingle color, let's just call it, I don't know, let's call it Barkwood, right? So if they're looking for Barkwood color, hey, what kind of color shingle are you thinking of? All these solid color blue pins means there are photos on there. So I can click on that. And every single pin has its own link. It's that same, see that symbol right there? It's the same exact symbol as the map link that I showed you earlier. So if I click on this, it says URL copied. So, you know, if you really want to get granular with it, you could have someone in the office or somebody could make a list of your like 5 top products and product colors, whether that's whether that's decking, pool, coping, landscape, hardscapes, roofing, siding, whatever. You could have like barkwood color roof, charcoal color roof, moray black color roof, and have a list, a predetermined list. And if a homeowner really wants to see a bunch, you could just copy and paste from that resource that you make for the inner office people that could then email, hey, click on any of these, and it literally will take you directly to this pin. What was the other question, Perla? And whoever I just answered, can you let us know if you thought that was a good enough answer?
Okay, the next one is Joe. I think you may have answered this kind of, but I'm still going to ask it. And it says,
Okay.
is there a way to pin with a star or something that will make it easy for the salesperson to present? With so many options and not all having photos, it can get confusing. If they have a choice of 4 to 5 to show, it will make it easier.
Like 4 or 5
I think
projects to show, right,
I
Perla?
think that's what Joe's referring to.
Yeah, there are a couple things. Here's what I always like to say as a rule of thumb. And again, it might take a little bit of work, but once you get here's what I say. The only other objection why anybody ever wants to cancel from Project Map at everybody is they say, I don't have enough time to update my map. You know what you do? You front load all the work. Like, let's say Tar Heel Construction Group, we just signed them on a month ago. We didn't. They're literally the second person that ever subscribe to Project Map It. But let's just say we signed them on a month ago, and they just put a lot of work in, and they got 448 projects with photos and videos. They got 397 reviews. They're connected to the Google Business profile, so the reviews for Google are always updating in real time. Well, at midnight every night, but consistently updating. Like, listen, if you just put the work in and make a kick-ass map right now, you really like if you think about it, you never have to update it again if you really didn't want to. Just make it killer right now. And one way to do that, right, Joe, if I think it was Joe that asked that, is for every category or subcategory you have, do what Joe just said. Try to have like 3 or 4 projects of barkwood color roofs, of Biscayne blue roofs, of charcoal color roofs. And then when you're doing it, you can click on barkwood, and you can also click on the media button. So you can click 2 filters at once. And now I've dived down to only this. What I will say is sometimes when you dive into the neighborhood first, just to show, like, right, I mean, I'm near that 92 and I'm going to pinch and zoom and just say, hey, just wanted you to see, like, we are a local company. These are some of the roofs we've done. Probably not even all of the roofs, but a good number. And like, I mean, that community alone is sweet. So in your sales process, we're going to talk about that, but I'll kind of get into it a little bit now because it was brought up by Joe. Is save Project Map It right before you're giving them that quote. So here's my story about O'Leary Roofing. I drove up Northern PA, went on a roof inspection with Stefan Vasquez. Stefan had an Engage presentation. It's like a PowerPoint. It's Engage, INGAGE, PowerPoint on steroids, if you will, with analytics and all sorts of cool stuff. He went on the roof. I went on the roof with him, learned about pop nails. It was pretty cool. I went in the attic, saw what looked to be a start of some mold occurring underneath the boards, but it was still safe at that point. And then he sat at the kitchen table. So he had a 20 to 25 minute PowerPoint Engage. It was an Engage slide deck. And he told the company story, and he was swiping through the slides, talking about the products that they use. They're a GAF presidential company. He gets to, so by the time he gets to slide 23, and again, he only spent about a minute on every slide, but he gets to slide 23, the very last slide of the slideshow, and says, I'm going to tell you why you should choose us. The last slide is going to, no, what he said was, the last slide's my favorite slide because you're going to see why you should choose O'Leary Roofing over the other two. And by then, at the kitchen table, he's already talked to and knows the price points that the other 2 companies that have been there before him have given that homeowner, the husband and wife. So he swipes left, and out of the lady's mouth was Jesus, and she said Christ. I'm just quoting, not to offend anyone. Jesus Christ had all the work we've done in our area. And he's like, yeah, that is all the work we've done in our area, probably more. And so this is getting into the sales part. If you click on search by location and click this button right here, This is a geolocator. You can click on it, and he doesn't work in my area very much, so you can see his footprints a little further out. But when I click on that little red airplane button, it geolocates and puts you right in the middle. So this is exactly where I'm sitting in my house. Okay. If you want to be dramatic about it, right? You can say, hey, I just wanted to show you that we've done work in your area. You'd click on this search by location button. You'd come here and you'd say, yeah, we live in so I'm presenting to a lady and a husband and wife at 320 Brunswick Drive in Bel Air, right? So this is the ladies, this is the person's house that you're presenting to. And then you click on this. It's going to zoom in and center that. So it's literally right in the center somewhere, probably close to this. And you'll see, like, if I zoom in right here, like, I think it's probably like, if I close this window, it's probably like 320 is probably like right where my dot is. Well, no, that's not the center. Probably right where my dot is, somewhere around there. Guarantee you, if you're zoomed in on that, they're going to be like, holy cow, look at all these. Like, that's cool. And look, they've got, this one has a Google and Facebook. Yeah, we did a job over at 314 Brunswick. Here you go. This is what it looks like. Oh, you want to read the reviews that our homeowner left us? There you go. So the first point of sale would be, I think, putting this as one of your last parts of your sales presentation. You want to show this wow factor, this reputation before you say, yeah, so we're going to quote you at $15,000, whatever. Secondly, if you had 4 pictures per, so the first thing you want to do is show your local reputation, right? The next thing you want to do is, do you have an idea of what color you're looking for? Oh, you're looking for Biscayne blue. Cool. So you click on Biscayne blue, not a popular color probably in Maryland or whatever. So there's only like 4 pins there anyway. But notice if you have a couple pins that are blue, you're good to go. If I click this button and hide this drop-down menu, I can click it to close it. These pins here match the pins you see on your map. So I can click this blue pin or this solid blue pin or this solid blue pin. And I know I'm going to get out of the solid blue pins, 2 are going to have photos on it. One of those pins are going to have a list view. So sometimes when you open and you start searching, sometimes it's better just to click this because the picture of that Biscayne blue house will appear. And if you take drone photography, I really encourage you all to take the same angle like this company does before and after. Looks amazing. We can talk about professional. So to answer your question, my staff always makes fun of me for being long-winded, but that's what I would do. I would just make sure every single one of these, because again, sales tool first, every single one of these colors or subcategories you have for your industry that you're working in has at least 1 to 2 to 4 projects with photos. So no matter what you click, you know that if I click that and click media, I'm going to get at least a few. Except, oh, there's one there. There we go. I was wondering if Golden Harvest would be there. That would be a beer. That's my house. That's my old employee.
Hey Steve, I just want to say something. We have 2 people who can't hear. I'm assuming it might be just them giving access to their computer to listen, but this will be recorded so we can send it their way as well if they can't for some reason get the audio working.
Yeah, so on Big Marker, there might be a little gear wheel that you can click, and in that gear wheel, you might have to choose audio source and choose your computer, but this will be recorded. All right. Any other questions, Perla?
How do you add review pins to the map? The video in your training isn't working.
How do you add the reviews to the pins, I assume, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it, okay. So to do that, I'll check that out. And in fact, Perla, maybe you can find it and send that, like put that YouTube video to them. But yes, to add reviews to the pins, you click on the reviews button on the left-hand side. You go to where it says synchronize your Facebook and Google reviews. And then you go to this tab that says list reviews. It literally lists the reviews. Our system, if you're connected to the Google business integration, and Perla is going to send that video over. If you're connected to the Google integration, it will automatically, as long as the reviewer's name matches exactly the reviewer's name in Project Map It. So like this one probably won't be a perfect match. It's the only way our company could do that easy part to make it automatic. So if the Google or Facebook name matches the exact name in Project Map It itself, then it will automatically attach the pin to the map, but you need to be connected to, so synchronized, but you need to be connected to Google Business Integration. And that's going to be what are the Google icons or Facebook icons automatic? Yes, the Google icons and Facebook icons are added when you add the pin to, when you add the review to the pin. So if you add the review to the pin, which is what I'm going to show you now, that's how the Google review automatically, the Google badge will automatically next to the pin on the map, but it's got to be matched to it. And the way you do that is here, I'll delete it. So see how this has the name, I can delete that. So if I go into this little box over here on the right-hand side, I have Darian McClung from John McClung Roofing out of North Carolina. They're awesome, one of our customers. You just type in McClung and you can see if it pops up. It doesn't because this is a demo map, but let's just call it, let's say she lives at 1206 and Park Ridge Road, Ridge Drive, and there it is. So you search by name or by address, and when you find it, you click on this blue button, and it puts it up here, right? And when it goes up here, you have to take it and drag it and drop it on there. Now, I'm going to tell everybody this. It's a little glitch or bug in our system. Sometimes you see the badge right here like it shows. So this literally shows it dropped on there. The unfortunate thing is sometimes when you drag and drop it, it doesn't show. So let's say it doesn't show this, but you dragged and you dropped it right on there. I'm telling you, I'm almost 100% sure that it's still on there. It just doesn't show the badge on there. So let's say you tried dragging this on there and it was like blank still like this, and it didn't show it like this, but you did drag it on there. Still click save. That's how you save everything and put it on there and just check to see if it went. So like for me, when I'm doing it, I would come in here and I go, okay, Laura H. And I would just, Ron Hilliard. These are all some of our customers. These are all of our customers. I'd look up Ron Hilliard. If it was there, awesome. I'd click on it down here. I'd come up here. I'd drag it. Go to the next one. Brianna, I'll just do 4006 is her address. Oh, there she is. Drag and drop. And I just go through the list and drag them all. And when you're done, click save. And that attaches them to the pin and puts that badge on there. Okay. Let's talk real quick. And I've already talked a little bit about this, but where in the points of sale? I said this in my last webinar for anybody who was there, and it's now 1:37. I think maybe 7 to 8 minutes away from being done. But this is the way we recommend and we consult with our new clients on how to leverage Project Map It in the sales. Some of you probably have texting services. You're using Hatch or some sort of texting service to communicate. Podium, one of those guys, ladies. You can send a text like pre-appointment email, or you can just automate it through a CRM. If you're using a CRM like AccuLynx or Leap or GiddyUp or whatever, automate it. Send out a pre-appointment email that's not lame and very basic. Hey, John's going to be there at 2:00, or I'll use Jennifer as an example. Jennifer's going to be there Thursday at 2 p.m. If you have any questions, give us a call. Give a little more meat. 57. So for all the salespeople out there, 57% of the buying process is done before you even knock on that door to provide that consultation meeting. Okay. So that means that the homeowners are doing research more and more before you even go out there. Makes sense, right? We're a digital world now. So what can you do before you and your reps go out there so that the homeowner knows who you are and likes you more than the other two that they are also seeing? We highly recommend making a video of yourself talking about your personal life for 10, 15 seconds, and then talking about what the homeowner can expect when you go out there. What is the process of how you run your meetings? Just some things we've been presenting all over the United States with Certainty recently, a big manufacturing company for roofing material and siding and other building product brands. But something that we've really talked a lot about and I really love, and it was ideas coming from contractors. So this is not my idea. These are contractors that we've talked to at all these presentations. Some people want to sit down and learn you. They want to. They expect you to. They're digital natives. They grew up on iPads. They grew up on tablets and computers and phones. So some people honestly expect you to sit at the table for 20 to 25 minutes going through. If you have a PowerPoint, or I really recommend our partner Engage, you create a 23 slide like O'Leary Roofing, and he did it in 20 to 25 minutes. Tells the company story, tells the product brand you're using, tells the process, gets you through the whole process, and then puts Project Map It in it. They want to meet you before they meet you. So send a video of yourself. If you click on this deck is going to be shared with all of you. If you just click on Meet Jennifer in the middle, it's going to bring up a video of me showing you an idea of how you can create a video of you so that you can send to your homeowner before you go, your prospect, before you go out to the house. So then meeting you brings in that human element that has nothing to do with Project Map It. That's just our recommendation because we've learned it from other people. And then the second thing is check out our portfolio password. Put Project Map It into it. Make it say whatever you want, but like, hey, check out all the work we've done in your area. That's where you could put whoever was asking it earlier. That's where you could put individual links to specific shingles or homes that are around that customer's home, whatever. Just by clicking on that little icon within the so this icon right. So if I click on any of these pins, this icon right here, that copies the URL for that pin. So if you could email that too on a pre-appointment email, especially if you know a little bit more about that homeowner before you go out, like that they want a Moray black roof. So pre-appointment emails, I've already talked at length about this. If you have other questions, I can certainly, oh, good, Ashley. If you have any questions about this, I can certainly go back to my iPad and show you. So if there are things like, hey, Steve, how do you find this on an iPad? Let me know. There's one thing I didn't show. There is the function, everybody. And so you can do this on your iPad as well. It's search for services. So if you're a company that has 1 million categories, like you kind of see here, there's a way to make it a collapsible filter. So you click on it, it opens up. So you're not scrolling forever through all your products and product colors. And then there's a search bar. So I could just search weathered wood roof, and all of a sudden I've got CertainTeed and wet and GF real quick. So that's one thing you might want to add as a sales tool. I forgot to say that. I'm sorry, I digressed there for a second. But to do that, everybody, you can click on map settings on the left. And then you go to the third tab, how your map will work right here. And it's this right here. Add a collapsible filter and add a search filter. So again, if you have tons of products and colors and services on your filtering system, put that search bar in there for you. So in-home sales appointment. I cannot tell you enough I'm a huge believer in having a visual presentation on a tablet or a laptop, but with the understanding, and this is where I was going earlier and I never finished my thought, was some people want you to sit at the table and some people just want to know how much it's going to cost. You might go to a home and they're like, dude, we already done our research. We're using you. John referred you. He's our neighbor. We trust him. So you come, you get on the roof. You don't need to tell a presentation. So maybe, and what a lot of contractors have been talking to us about and saying what they were going to start doing is, you know what, I'm going to ask the homeowner either before I go out there or as soon as I go out there, hey, listen, I've got an iPad or a laptop in the truck. I can certainly sit with you at the kitchen table. It takes about 20, 25 minutes. Really tell you our company story. We think it's important for you to know because we want you to know that who you're working with. And we talk about, the product materials that we're using to build that install. We've got a really cool map that shows you all the work we've done in your area, or we don't have to sit at the table. What's better for you? So giving them that option. Okay. So that's an idea. Sometimes you want to sit at the table. Maybe sometimes you don't because the person doesn't want. And then when you leave, obviously, I know these 3 proposal platforms, a lot of you are using right there in the house because it takes under 5 minutes to create an amazing proposal before you sit at the table with them. So, but when you leave and you send follow-up emails, consider sending a follow-up email with a link to Project Map It. Really appreciate it. Really appreciated having us out at your house. We know that we can do a great job and we're the one for you. Please take a look at our portfolio password so we're local and reputable, clear. And so just putting that in some sort of post engagement with that homeowner before. Here's an example. So if you're using Roofer, if you're sending a proposal via PDF, our company will create a PDF like this for you. So we'll start it for you. And if you like it, great, you can use it. And we'll send it, and it'll have a call to action button link to our portfolio. Yeah. So is there a way to highlight all certainty landmark versus landmark pros without having to check the box of subcategories? There's some colors certainty phased out. So if we feel it's counterproductive to have that color as a clickable option, but we still want the volume of work, we've done regardless. Yeah, we've been talking about that lately, and I think it might be something that I will hopefully soon. Yeah, there you go. So Pearl, I guess you can write all the companies down. If you want us to make you a PDF, write it down. We'll take care of that for you as well. To answer your question, Thomas, yes and no. There's not an easy button that you can just click, but there is an easy way of doing it, and our company will do it for you. So if anybody here wants us to do what I'm about to tell Thomas, let me know and we'll take care of it for you. So I believe, Thomas, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but you would want, instead of having to click every single individual button to see all the certainty landmarks, you want to be able to just have a button that literally says, all certainty landmark jobs. Am I hearing you correctly? So to do that, thank you, Thomas. To do that, there would be a little finagling. I can show you what I would do, but just let us know. We'll do it. But you're going to create a button above this, above Atlantic Blue, that literally is just a button just underneath certainty that says all certainty landmark jobs. And when you click it, all these colors would appear. And the way I would do that, and look, I know my crap because I'm the owner. So you can go into projects. You can go into, I always like to go to the very last page, 302, because that'll tell you the day that you imported the first time. So the first time that this company imported was February 19th, 2021, right? So I can go to export, February 19th, 2021, export all jobs from February 19th, 2021. I guess maybe I have to put this 19th, 2021. Pick the day on the calendar and click export. So now it's exporting. Now I got my nice spreadsheet. I won't get into this too much. Everybody's probably rolling their eyes like, Steve, come on, bro. But from there, I would have to delimitate some of the categories. So you'll see, this is a demo map, so we don't have a million categories here. But I would delimitate with the categories, and I would take all of the certaintied ones, and I would literally build out a category and just call it certaintied, all certainty landmark pro. And then when I re-imported it, it would re-import it with a category above that said all certainty landmark pro. So without boring you too much, we're going to do it for you. If you want us, Project Map It, to create a category, just email us actually this time. Email us at info. I'm typing it in here at projectmapit.com. Or if you have your customer success person's email, so that would be Ashley Battelle or Pat Martinick. If you have their email them directly and be like, hey, Steve on the webinar said that we can do this. I would like to have a subcategory that had all, and then explain whatever category it is, whatever with certainty landmark for GF Timberline HDZ, IKO Dynasty, whatever it is. And we'll go ahead and we'll do that for you. And we'll put those categories in there. Good. That's a good one. I think maybe there's something down the road that I could probably automate that process pretty easily. Okay. Let me see what else I've got here. I think we're almost done, everybody. Okay, cool. Putting it on your yard sales. If you have yard signs, maybe a QR code that leads to your website where Project Map It lives. And maybe there's the QR code next to it says, view our portfolio of past work, something like that. Put it on any kind of mailers you send out. Again, QR code it. Not scan. You wouldn't say scan this QR code. You just say, or you would say scan the code to see our portfolio of past work. Again, that wow factor, I've seen it plenty of times, everybody. I know it works. And it does help close deals. And then finally, putting it in your signature of Project Map It, your signature of your email. Take a look at our portfolio of past work. Listen, we're getting into reviews quite a bit, just because salespeople salespeople do the following task. The task that I'm talking about is the salesperson for many of our contracting companies are the ones that have to request a review using Project Map It. I'm going to tell you, we do get 40 to 60% of conversion rates. It's an email system. We're moving towards another portion of that system. We're always going to keep our 3 emails that go out. So in our system, under reviews, you first create a Project Map It survey here. We like to just keep it very similar to like a Google review, 5-star rating, and your describe your experience. So a written testimonial. So you build your review, right? Create your review, and then you go to email settings, and we can do this for you. We did when you were onboarded, so it should be there. But here's the first email. We always recommend everybody. We've done the research. After the first email goes out, 2 days later, send a second follow-up. 5 days after the original, send the third email. Again, just to be sure everybody knows this, let's say the first email goes out and someone clicks on Project Map It. It'll stop the next 2 reviews from going out. So whenever they click on a link, doesn't mean they necessarily left you a review, but it will stop any following emails from going out. For those that don't know, please understand, we're actually a really good alternative if people don't have a Gmail account or a Facebook account. You all know that if you can't get a review, a customer can't give you a Google review if they don't have a Gmail account. And please understand, there's still people out there with an AIM account. I bet you someone on this call right now has a personal email that's something@aim.com, okay? Or Hotmail. Come on now, get with the times, everybody. Bottom line, Project Map It's a good thing. Google does recognize written testimonials for Google algorithms for a third-party software that they track that content. It helps with SEO. So think about using us for reviews. And then finally, this is where we're headed. I actually ordered some concept cards that are Project Map It branded with tap tags. They might be in the mail today, actually. So I'll maybe show everybody on the Project Map It users group on Facebook when we do it. So in Project Map It, you're going to be able to build out a landing page it doesn't look like this. This is a concept, but it's going to have your logo. It's going to have the links to what you want the customer to leave you a review off of, which platforms you want. Have these tap cards, and you're also going to be able to order business cards that you can leave behind with a QR code that brings that homeowner to this. It's going to be killer. It's going to be a game changer for us. So please look at that. Again, that's going to take about 2 to 3 months, probably 3 months. Listen, speaking of reviews, and then we'll open up to questions. Perla is going to put the Google review link for us. It would be amazing. I'm going to teach you a couple things here. We're a small business. We have 92 reviews. Our biggest competitor has 99 reviews. Would love if you'd be willing, if you've already given us a Google review, don't. But if you haven't given us a Google review, 8 more will be more Google reviews than our competitors. Now I'm going to teach you something about Google reviews before we end this call. When you ask for a review, it's kind of illegal if you research it. Can I ask a customer to put my name in a review? I mean, I don't think the Google police are going to get you, but here's what I would always recommend. So if you look at our reviews, I don't know if I can make this bigger. If you look at our reviews, we've been asking for reviews a lot lately, and we've asked them to put people's names from our company in there. Perla is our direct contact, and she's the best. If you look at this one, Ashley was great to work with. If you look at this one, Pat, Perla, and Steve. If you just ask your homeowner when you're requesting a review, hey, if you can leave us a review, that would be really cool. If you don't mind, when you write the review, if you want to just give a shout out to one of the employees that you felt worked really well with you, it could be me, wink, wink. That would be awesome. So yeah, I love Perla too. She's pretty cool. So for your salespeople, they're asking for reviews. If your sales team is the one, or project manager and brand ambassador, or whatever, are the ones looking to get the reviews, try to get them to have that homeowner put a person's name in there. Reason being, it helps with SEO. Google algorithms look at that as very authentic review. They're shouting out someone that works at Project Map It. Google knows who works at Project Map It. They crawl our data. So when you put a person's name or a city or a brand product, when you reply to the review, you'll probably, this is me, right? Like, it was great seeing you in LA at in LA at the Certainteed event, right? I'm dropping names like Certainteed. I'm dropping their company's name. So always try to put in your reply SEO key terms that help leverage your company as well. Okay. So what else am I missing? There are some videos here. You can look at those. It looks like Pearl. Are we about to say something?
Oh, sorry, I forgot I had my mic on, but I do have a question from
Yeah.
Thomas.
Okay.
He said, how do you typically overcome objections of thinking it is an invasion of privacy for the folks who inevitably do not understand how the internet works in 2024?
Now, this is Tom, are you talking about an objection for homeowners not wanting their PIN on the map?
That might be what Thomas is referring to.
So we have one of the best law firms in the world in Maryland for sure, where I live.
He said, thinking it's invasion of privacy previous customers.
Yep. So it's 100% legal. Again, we've been vetted by multi-billion-dollar companies. And again, we have a great law firm. Perfectly legal to post an address without permission with photos. You can go to Zillow right now and look at all sorts of pictures and search anything in North America. So Canada and US, you have that. Now, if you are dead set against, I would just always err on caution. So first of all, Thomas, are you having issues like that? Because I haven't heard of any issues, and we have 500 customers. Like, it's been maybe a handful, 5 or less, of homeowners that called and said, can you please take my PIN down? And they will do that. Just so you know what some people do. And again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just telling you what contractors do. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. Put it in your contract, everybody. That's what a lot of our contractors do. They will be the ones that share with us. Yeah, we just put on our contract, we can use your address and photos or we can use this project install, including images, for marketing purposes. You could do something like that. Some people do that. If you know that the person's not going to want it on there, don't put their house on there. There is something that you can do, and it depends. This is something that you all should know. So as far as privacy goes, there are a couple things, and I'm hoping, Thomas, you know this, but like, I can zoom in, everybody. I'll just take these pins right here. I can zoom all the way in and see this house is on this lot. This house is on this lot, right? And when I click on the pin, I can see the full address. If you are, and Thomas, are you an exterior remodeling company? I'm sorry, I can't remember. But if you are an exterior remodeling company, I'd say 99.5% of all of our exterior remodeling companies want the full address on there. Okay. But roofing, yeah. So most roofing companies want the address on there. Okay. But let's say this is the weirdo. I'm only using Thomas's words. I can just take the street number off. And if I just put Red Apple Lane in Columbia, Maryland, it will only show, it'll literally drop the pin right in the middle of however long Red Apple Lane is. If Red Apple Lane is this long, it's going to drop it right in the middle. If the street is this long, it's going to drop the pin right in the middle if you take the house number off. If you don't want, and like, again, get Google satellite image, right? Maybe you think that's an invasion of privacy. So maybe that's where you put a billboard advertisement like this so that they don't see the Google satellite image. That's another privacy thing. A couple other things for privacy. So I want to just hit all this because I like the question. Okay. You can have the pin just show the city, state, and zip code, or you can take the numbers of the street off. And you can also make it so that you can't zoom all the way in like I showed you. And the way you do that is go to map settings, go to how your map will work. And then the second thing is zoom limit. So I can say, hey, I want the zoom limit to be as far out as possible. That doesn't allow them to zoom all the way in. So we have 3 zoom limits, like closest as possible, which is what it was on when I zoomed in and you saw that pin on the lot, further out and furthest out. So you can choose any of those and update it. It's going to take a hot second anytime you do that. Notice it doesn't update right away. That's because it's putting the new parameters into our server, which is into a thing so that the map loads as quickly as possible. So sometimes it takes a little longer than expected. Second thing is, if I get a little red error button, just do it 2 more times and eventually it'll lock in. And then for Google reviews, I'm going to get out of here, but that's how you would do that. For Google reviews, under review settings, if I click on review settings, see, there's that red error. If I hit it 2 more times, it would work. General settings for reviews. If I click no, I don't want to show the person's name. Okay. I can click on this. I can click on reviews and you'll see the Google reviews. There are no names. Just be clear, this will apply to the whole map, not just the correct. So whatever setting you're doing, Diana, it's going to be literally the entire map is going to create that setting. What I will say is, ladies, gentlemen, if they don't want the pin on the map, just don't put the pin on the map. There's nothing wrong with that as well. I have a few clients not want their information, so that's perfect. So she deleted the project. That's exactly what you would want. End of the day, I bet you all of you are doing enough work that you'll be fine. And Perla said, so you can also make the map just display city, state, and zip code. The way you do that is you go into map settings and how your map will work. And all the way at the bottom. Yeah, all the way at the bottom. So go to the third tab under map settings, and you can say address format, and you can say, I just want it to show the city, state, and zip code. This actually will update quickly. So if I go there, you'll see now. Sorry, because you did that, it's going to load the map the first time pretty slow, but it just shows the city, state, and zip code. I believe that's it. That's it. And it's 2:00 exactly. But I'll certainly stay on if anybody else wants to continue to stay on. Are there any other questions? Please click on that link and give us a Google review. We want to get to 100 by Friday. In fact, if we get 8 more reviews, my entire staff gets a $100 bonus except me because I'm the owner. That's all right. I don't need it. Any other questions? Really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to do another webinar. Next month, it's going to be on writing project descriptions. If you do that, does it not show their photos? If I change it to city, state, and zip code, it still shows the photos. Yes, it does. So there are the photos right there. I definitely want to be involved in more webinars. Perfect. Yeah, let us know if these webinars help. Heck, if you write a Google review, maybe even write about the fact that you like the fact that Project Lead reviews for their current customers to keep everybody updated. Okay, and then Perla, maybe I don't even know why I'm asking Perla. I know she's doing it, so I'm not going to say it. I was going to say, hey, Perla, can you see Chris and write it down? But I'm sure she did it. See, I knew it. Perla is the woman. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, everybody. 26 of you. It looks like you're starting to slowly log off. Again, I'll wait another couple seconds. If anybody has any questions, I can certainly stay on for another, 10 minutes, half hour. I don't care. You're welcome, Ashley. Thank you. Diana, where are you? What company are you at?
She's New Gen.
New Gen.
Uh-huh.
Love New Gen. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Perla, did I miss anything? Everything good?
No, I think we did I like it.
Oh, you did great, Perla. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful day. We really.
Oh, wait, Diana has a quick question.
Woo! Yeah, David, I get it. It is a lot to consume. Here, David, Diana, while you're writing your question, David, just so you know, there are 2 things that are happening in Project Map It. I should have said this earlier. There is a new knowledge base here on the bottom left. We are building it out as we speak. I'm going to spend probably 15 hours over the weekend continuing to add articles and stuff. So you can click on this and you can say how do you put, use PMI in sales, right? And what will happen is it should, if we have done it right. Yeah, so that means that there was nothing there. But I thought there was, though. Let's just put sales. But anyway, you'll be able to use this. We're going to really boost this up a lot. So it's always going to be there. Yeah, how do you leverage PMI? How do I get pins up? So leveraging PMI for your sales team. If you click on that, it's going to bring you to an article that says bookmark PMI on your tablet, navigate PMI on your tablet, how to add it to an engaged. So just so you know, that is there. There's a knowledge base in the bottom left. And the other thing that we have is to kind of lay it out in sections, like training modules. If you click on online support videos here, David, if you're still on, you have sections. So the basics, these are the basics. If you watch these 12, 13 videos, and they're all short videos, it helps. Mobile experience, getting seen online, how to leverage PMI. Again, like pre-appointment email. It's all here and in that knowledge base. Awesome. Is it helping? David, you can also set up a
training.
an individual training with Ashley or Pat. Diana.
Diana said she wants you to go over getting reviews on Project Map It link.
Yeah. So here, Diana, I'll show you a couple things. Number one, if you want to request reviews from Project Map It at your desktop or laptop in the office somewhere or at your house, wherever, all you do is you click on projects. So when you're entering new projects, if you're going to use our email system, when you add a new project, put the person's name, put the address, add the project. You should know how to do that. Categorize it. You don't really need the custom pin. You don't need phone number. You don't need, but put the person's email in there. So start putting their email. So I'll just put mine in for this example. Projectmapit.com, right? And then when you, well, it's not going to show up, but regardless, you would create the project and it would be there. Okay. The email address would be associated with that. Then when you're in projects, if you just start putting everybody's email address in there, all you do is you find the person. So if I wanted to send an email to this person, I click on this icon. So you go into projects, you click on this icon, and this is the first email that goes out. So I can click on this and I can even in the first email personalize it. Hey, John, I hope your kid did well in his basketball game the other day, whatever. And then when you click request review, it sends the first email out, and then it'll send the second and third email out. That's on a desktop. You can also bulk. So I can say, I want to send one to this person, and this person. If I wanted to look at 100 projects at a time, I could click on that 100, and then I could just say, okay, I want to send it to, oh, yeah, Perla was good. Michael Evans was good. He loved us. Perla Arias, she's awesome. She'll leave us one. And then up here under select bulk action, you can do that and send review request. There's the email. Just hit the blue button. It's going to send them out to all 4. We are not Bailey yet. So our system's pretty simple, right? It's photos, reviews, and pins. So right now our web app works perfectly fine. You are aware, Bailey, though, that we are a web app, right? So we operate just like an app. Yes, it only sends the 3 emails, Diana. Again, so here, let me show you. What you do is you go to reviews first. You're going to want to create your own Project Map It survey, or if you want, Diana, just have Perla and our team will make sure that your email system is set up pretty nicely. But you create your Project Map It survey, then you go to email systems. Okay, good, Bailey. Can you, while I'm answering Diana, tell me why you would want us to be an actual app in the App Store? That would help me. It would be a huge lift. We're not doing it yet. I don't want to get your hopes up, Bailey, but we don't really need it for what we do to service our clients. Back to Diana. I apologize. So you can change the email to whatever you want. However, don't change this part. Okay. So check this out. Under reviews, under review settings, if you scroll to the bottom, these are your review links that go to the email. So it says review links for email requests. So if you wanted Yelp or anything else, you would just click the add link button. You would name it whatever you want. This is what's in the email. It says Google review. It says Facebook review. It doesn't give the full URL. It just only says this. Okay. So then when you're in your email settings, these are the review platforms. Now watch, if I delete them, it's not the end of the world. These red buttons are coded to what I just showed you. So if I want Google review first, because we have put them in order of importance with Google being the most. So I'm going to click the red button and watch. Boom. Well, I didn't put the cursor where it should have been. So here, let me do that again. Cursor starts there. Google review. It puts it there. That's the code for the link. Facebook review, Project Map It review. I'm going to take out a couple of these extra spaces. Maybe I want to change the way it says it there. Maybe I want to change the signature, whatever. So you can change everything you want. There was an app because all of our other platforms are apps. Not a huge deal. Okay. Thanks, Bailey. Yeah, when it's in the App Store, Bailey, Diana, did that answer your question? Oh, Diana, on a phone, if you wanted your salespeople to request the review, I'm going to make my phone let me delete this so it's not in the background. So look, when you shrink up, this is a little trick. So literally this is what a phone would look like. And all I did was I made my web browser is super small. So on a phone, you would click this to open the thing, close it. So list view shows it like this. This list view on a phone is nice because you can see which ones have photos, right? It's better than a map view, to be honest with you. Map view is nice when you're like just diving in to show somebody that. But if I'm looking for a review for stuff, I'd rather go into list view. Now, to request a review on a phone, when you open this up and you go to the projects, the icons change a little bit. See that? So if your people in the field are taking photos and adding new pins, they can go into this and say, hey, I want to, or I guess I'm showing 100. So let me show 5. So I can go down here and add a new project on a phone, right? If the project's already in there, maybe somebody in the office already put the project in there and it's just the salespeople's job to take the photos and request a review. They click on the little camera icon and they can click their thumb in here and it's going to open up and say, do you want to choose from your phone's library? But then also under projects, if you click that button, it literally brings this up. They can type a personal message on the first email, scroll to the bottom and click request a review. So you can do it from your phone as well. Any other questions? Bailey, when you put an app, if you're still on, when you put an app in the App Store, whenever you update the system, you have to update it for Android, update it for 3 different platforms. I forget which one, web, Android, and Mac OS. When it's a web app like ours is, you only have to update it on one platform. It's nice. You're welcome, Diana. All right. Well, if that's it, how can you show Home Advisor, Angie's, or Thumbtack reviews? Well, I will say this, Joe, about Angie. We are now partnered with Angie, although I'm not being a very good partner. I've not reached out to them like I should. Maybe down the road, Angie will allow us to. But right now, Home Advisor, which is Angie, and Thumbtack, they do not let us sync with their platforms. A lot of companies are very, they want their data. They don't want it to be displayed anywhere else. Good question. I don't even know what I said that was funny. Maybe it's just I'm funny looking, Ashley. Any other questions? Project Map It loves you, everyone. Perla, thanks.
Joe already left us a review. Thank you, Joe.
Joe. Heck yeah, we're at 93. Boop, boop. All right, everybody. PMI loves you. Join our Facebook group if you're not already. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Perla, thanks for everything.